change its policies, procedures to reduce the noise and community. What can we do?
Because as you know, the ferry issue has been going on for
a long
years,
time.
and you lease it, and obviously you've been great about bringing them in, but they don't do anything.
We stepped it up and sent them a letter to tell them that they were in non-compliance with their lease. One of the reasons that the boats are leaving at the close of business tomorrow is because we sent them a letter.
But that's the 3 boats.
Understood, but we're continuing to work on, and that's why I asked for any letters and information so that we can continue to put as much pressure on them as we can.
Yeah, because the community board reached out to Paul Goodman, and specifically about the issue of the revving, which I think is, as people who hear it would agree, that's the cause of a lot of the pollution and a lot of the noise. And Mr. Goodman wrote back saying, we cannot tie up the boats because we would not be able to maintain our contractually mandated schedule. I don't know who the schedule is with, who the contract.
That's a little interesting, but really probably the place to go, and we'll do whatever, we'll continue to do whatever we can do. There's a woman at the Port Authority who's in charge of all this. Her name is Janet Cox. The port actually subleases as the operator to New York Waterways.
Right. And then
just about that Billy Bay, they were given $7 million many years ago. I kind of suspect they spent it.
Okay.
Because there's no indication that they're using it on the engines, and I don't know if you can escalate that up to the state and the city who gave them the money.
if I may, I mean, also in the correspondence with Andrew, he asked specifically, could you give me an update on the diesel oxidation catalyst program?
Can you send that to me?
I'll send, sure.
Just send me what you guys sent them, what they sent back.
Sure,
So that we have
and then this is from a phone call.
Yeah, if you put us back into the loop on it, we can try to see what we can do to help.
Because this is new, and he said,
Sure.
We're on schedule, there are only 2 boats left to be done. That means that the 22 to 23 boats, all but 2 are complete. So that's the
all
diesel.
All but 2 are complete?
That's the diesel oxidation catalyst program. And then another question was, could you give me an update on the engine repowering program? He said the first 2 boats are in the shipyard now. One of them should be in service in the next couple of weeks. We have 7 boats remaining, but we still anticipate finishing the repower during 2012. So
okay, why don't you send all that to me? The more information, I mean, we'll take a look at that. We're happy. Okay. Andres Vizbaris. Hi, how are you tonight? Please tell New York Waterways to distribute the monies more fairly between the north. Yes, we had their ferries. Looked like monies. You had walked in a little later, and I had addressed the fact that yes, that there's been an ongoing problem of pushing them north, and then there are complaints, and then it gets pushed south, and we are working with the Port Authority to get them to distribute them so that that issue is not being pushed north or south, and you know, ending up in one part or the other.
Yeah,
so yes, we're working on that.
I appreciate that. I did hear that. You know, our ask is, as you say, that the ferries be distributed fairly. We're not asking for the South Side to live with what we've lived with for the last 3 years, which is 90% of the ferries.
Right.
Rather, we think there must be a way to split.
All's fair and love and more.
You know, there are any number of sensible ways to do that. I mean, the Jersey City line that runs to the Colgate terminal on the Jersey City side represents about 40 to 60% of the burden, depending on the hour. So each of those ferries, there are 2 ferries that run on that line. And why not run 1 ferry to the south side and 1 ferry to the north side? I mean, those 2 ferries together represent the bulk of the traffic at this terminal. That's a simple way to split it.
We're going to have to sit down and really push them to look at their schedules in a different way. So something that we're
not
trying
asking
to do.
to voice the load.
Understood. No. They're here. It's a fact of life. We just want to be sure that it's evenly distributed in terms of the distraction, so to speak.
And I mean, it's more than a distraction.
I didn't want to call it a menace. Yes, it is more than a distraction, but it's in terms of the noise.
Yeah, because there's a big part of the population that's not at this meeting, which are the 2 and 3-year-olds who use the playground.
Yep.
And those ferries, when they dock on the north side, and the prevailing westerly wind blows that diesel smoke and that diesel exhaust. And that diesel exhaust is totally irregular. And that's something that's really a shocking discovery to me.
I think this is Aldith Kohler. Is anything being done about the noisy, polluting ferries? So hopefully tomorrow's move will be a very important first step in terms of dealing with the noise issue. We are in contact with the Port Authority and have talked to them about the serious issue that they have, and I think, as many people know, this has unfortunately been going on for a long time. The boats get moved to the north, and there are complaints in the north, and they get moved back down south, and there are complaints in the south. And unfortunately, the boats are going back and forth, and so we're trying to get the port to actually figure out a more permanent solution to the problem rather than pushing it back and forth in terms of better boats and whatever you want to do. Just reach out to the authority and let us know very directly about that issue.
I need to address that. Last November at the community board, they agreed to replace 9 boats with new engines using money that was given to them. I followed up on that. They've made no progress. So they're promising and not doing. Once again, you might want to check into that.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we're talking about. Thank you.